Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to me just having a chat. Me just chatting, just chinwagging. And today I thought I'll talk about the PS5. The PS5 is like something that came into my life, not like a person. It's a piece of hardware, but it came into my life on launch day, and I was crazy excited for it. I think we all were so excited about it. Actually, really annoying seeing a lot of the stuff online at the moment about people being gifted PlayStation 5s. They're so few and far between. There's so few of them, really. All about the demand, baby. All about the demand, keeping us eager, like zombies, and some new flesh. We're all desperate to get a taste. Do you know what? People being gifted in the public eye, PS5s is fine. You know, influencers since day dot have been, being gifted things to promote and share on their social platforms. When you see people who are getting gifted things like the PlayStation 5, which is so difficult to get your hands on, I feel very lucky that I have one because I got in minute 8 of 10 when they went live online. I jumped on quickly, like super quick, and got lucky. But if you're being gifted something, it's one thing. But if you're being gifted something that isn't in your realm, if you're not in the gaming industry and you're in the kind of like the reality or kind of public eye for whatever other reason, and you publicly share that you've been given something as a gift and then you're selling it for profit and boasting about it online, then you are a categoric idiot, man. Like I on behalf of every single person who didn't get a PlayStation 5, want to say to you, you're a knob. You're a knob. Because that is not the way to do it. I think the gaming world in general is so excited about new platforms, new consoles, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X. Everyone's been so excited for so long. It's been a crap year. We've had, the world's worst, the thing that happened really, the pandemic was just, it's been awful and it's still not gone yet. And we're kind of working our way towards Christmas. And it's still here, and it's going to be here for some time. Vaccines look promising, look great, but still, games are something we've all had a chance to really kind of sink our teeth into because we've been stuck at home for so long. So for me, it's one of these things where I feel very passionately about it. I think we all do, working in the gaming space. You kind of see a lot of people who want to play it desperately, and I feel lucky that I get to showcase some of the games on stream and stuff, but dude, like I get so annoyed people who just don't appreciate, I can just imagine people who get given something and to them it's just like, yeah, it's a cool thing that everyone's talking about and I've got it, but then knowing you can make money and selling it, I just can't stand that kind of crap. I think that's just absolutely, it's terrible, it's awful. It needs to be highlighted and people need to be accountable for that. People who are doing this need to be accountable because there are so many gaming fans out there. People watching this video, you could be one of them. There's people that, just don't have access to this thing yet. And it is marvelous. And I wanted to kind of talk about my experience with it so far. Irate, ness aside, the PlayStation 5's come into my life. And it's been pretty amazing so far. It's actually become a big part of my day-to-day at the moment because I'm kind of grinding away playing all the different games available on it. So I wanted to give my honest kind of opinion on the console. I'm not going to get deep into like the specifics of the the kind of the actual hardware, motherboard connections and specifics around circuitry and whatnot because I haven't got a clue. I'm talking more about a consumer and someone who works in gaming and what I've seen from my hours, days, months, years, decades of playing games thus far, and things that kind of really struck me at first. Loading the thing up, the simplistic nature of it, I think, is straight away is something that I've actually really kind of liked. I think that we all expect that as technology grows, you're going to see more and more depth, and it's going to get more complicated and there's more things to kind of work with. It's actually remarkably simple. It takes a little bit of time getting your head around where everything is now. Things like changing the HDCP of where I'm kind of going into capturing things, but then suddenly watching something on Netflix or whatever it might be. Just finding that where those things are now. They're pretty much in the same place, just a little bit different than it was. But it's the simplistic nature of it that I actually was really blown away by straight away. I thought, okay, this is pretty easy to navigate. I can do this really simply. That was the first thing. that struck me. Obviously, uploading my library of games, I've got a limited amount of space. We're all a little bit concerned about the lack of memory that you have to that comes with the system. I think it's 500 gig or something like around that. It's less than a terabyte, and it's not. That's not a lot considering games like Call of Duty are like 110 gigs or something ridiculous, or other games of the same ilk are crazy massive. You kind of wonder why there's not more memory. Obviously, to going, hey, why don't you buy the booster pack with 8 terabytes of memory? So great. Or I could just delete the games I'm not playing, have my library, and just upload them at some other stage if I need to, when like a new DLC comes out or something. That's the way I'm taking it on board. I don't think the memory is necessary right now to have all that. I can limit myself to a few games if I have to. And straight off the bat, I was rocking a few. I was rocking Miles Morales. I was rocking Assassin's Creed Valhalla. A big shout out to Sony for hooking me up with Spider-Man, with a new Spider-Man game. Big shout out to Ubisoft for hooking me up with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Both great games. Big shout out to EA for hooking me up with FIFA 21. So I've been very lucky and fortunate that I've been gifted some games and to review codes for games, because I work in that kind of business in that industry, and it really helps with the work that I do, be it the podcast or shows I might host or whatever. So it's really, really appreciated always. The thing for me is though, like the other things I've noticed straight away from the get-go were graphically, it's astounding, like absolutely astounding. And I know that a lot of games, like I know Call of Duty is one of them, and a few others are getting a buff come December. I think December 10th is when we have Cyberpunk 2077 coming out. A lot of games around that time are getting buffs graphically. So at the moment, your output might be like 60 FPS on some games, but there is coming a point where some games are going to get another boost to 90 to 120 FPS. So there's going to be a lot more clarity, a lot more fluidity with like frame rate and such, which I'm looking forward to seeing, because at the moment, as it currently stands, it looks freaking good. And I don't know why, I can't even imagine the next level and doubling up on that. But at the moment, like putting something like Miles Morales on, or putting on like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, honestly, the color palette, the motion, the way in which the game looks, the definition of like the seasons and the sunshine and the snow, it is insane. Like, for use of a better term, it's insanity. It's absolutely glorious. I don't know, I'm really, really taken aback by it. That's the first thing, that graphically, when it comes to actually the games themselves, that really did hit me, how beautiful they do look. On the fundamental level, though, with the system, the thing that kind of really I was surprised at the most, I remember loading up Miles Morales for the first time. Big game. Every time you play a PlayStation 4 game like Miles Morales, or Ghost of Tsushima, something which is a big game, which is it demands a lot of power. The PS4 sounds like an engine taking off, like a rocket's about to launch. Like it's noisy, it's loud. But the PS5 is like silent. It's so quiet, and that's what I couldn't believe. Is it's so quiet that you're expecting any minute for it to suddenly go kick in with this crazy noise. It doesn't. I haven't really noticed that at all. Even when kind of playing on stream for like 4 hours, when you expect it to overheat a little bit. I mind standing up, by the way, not lying down. You have this cool little kind of contraption, actually. Like it came with a box. It's somewhere in my drawer here. You have this kind of cool contraption to kind of like, say contraption, piece of plastic. It's like a cylinder disc that you can kind of like this. Comes with this. So you can basically put your PlayStation on that, and it can kind of like as a rest for that. Didn't realize it was a thing. That's a thing. And it's one of these things where, you have the ability to stand up, lie down, whatever. Mine's standing up. So I thought, like, this way, more air is getting in, the fans. It doesn't feel like it's even necessary. The thing is so quiet. It doesn't really tend to overheat. It feels really good. The crazy thing as well is the loading times on games. Miles Morales, boosting that up, PS5. You boost that up, it counted from the continue game menu to in-game, 5 seconds. Where I left off, 5 seconds. I can jump into another game like Valhalla or something, which I was playing earlier, and jump into that within the same amount of time where I left off. Last night, the system booted down while I went and had dinner and things. I came back later on that evening, like 3 hours later. I turned the PS5 on, clicked on Valhalla, and it had the same pause menu that I stopped on those hours previously. So that memory, that ability to kind of keep your game saved, and that kind of like, immediacy into the action, so it's second to none. It's second to none. You know, there's all these different factors that I think are really impressive with it, and I've been genuinely really impressed. And I want to do more of these kind of like, you know, bits that I can just chat to you guys about honest opinions about some certain stuff, because it's just cool to relay how I feel, and not rather than me going, hey guys, welcome to a brand new video. This is me talking about it. Let's just have a frank convo. Just way easier this way. And this way you can get to look at my little plant as well there. Look at that. It's fake. It's not real. Looks it though. Hey, it was worth the £7 I paid for it. The games coming out look pretty stellar. There are some games that haven't transitioned yet to PS5. Games like Fortnite, you can't play them yet. I mean, the menu as well is really, really easy to navigate with your library in terms of what you can and can't play on this system. With games that actually do backpat, so you got backwards compatibility onto different, you know, onto the previous platform in the series, which is great, which is really helpful. It's a really easy thing to navigate. I haven't found it a problem at all. A Luddite like myself find it really straightforward. But it's a system that is obviously in demand, and people are going to want to play this thing desperately. My vibe would be, you know, people are selling this online for extortionate amounts of money. People are making profits, like that douchebag I mentioned earlier on that I saw on social media. I'm sure there's others as well from the same thing, but not as publicly. People will want this thing desperately, particularly with Christmas around the corner, and it is amazing. My advice would be, and I'm speaking from someone who's got one, so I'm obviously going to have this kind of like vibe right now, and from someone who's in a benefited position, but there will be more. There will definitely be more. There is, I think, daily there's new ones popping up here, there, everywhere. People are kind of buying them. To pay the money you want to pay for it on eBay, and you want it now, of course, it's coming to you. There is going to be opportunities, but to pay 2-3 times the amount of money that it's actually there for, because bang for buck wise and you know, cost per usage, you're going to use this thing for the next decade. You're going to be using the PS5. You know, it's going to be here for a while. It's capable of delivering 8K you know, content. If that's you have a TV or whatever it is, a station that can kind of can kind of utilize that aspect of it. It's going to be here for a while. It's good. It's a great system, and it's really fun to use. And games that are coming out in it now are fantastic. But my advice would be it can wait, but it is worth the money. I think it's fantastic. Never mind the kind of the Blu-ray aspect. I've got the disc version, not the digital version. I paid the extra for the disc simply because some of the games I have are on disc. I want to play those in future. Plus, I can also use it in like the bedroom as like a DVD Blu-ray player as well. So that kind of stuff. For me, it works. The digital code, obviously more eco-friendly, but digital version for people who simply use the PlayStation Store or are doing all of their work like with the system via downloadable content and stuff. You don't need to have that disk drive. For me, it works, but for you, it might not do. That's one more thing I haven't talked about. This thing, the controller. People have been kind of crapping on this a little bit. People have been like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. You got these paddles at the back here as well that have like tension, and different things happen if you press harder or lower. Astro's Playroom is a game that comes with the system as well, which is so great for not even for nostalgia purposes. It's a great little platform game that you can definitely platinum, by the way. It's the fact that you get the most of the controller blowing into the kind of like into the air holes there, and swiping using it really gives you a feel for what this controller is capable of. It does feel a bit bulky. It is a bit bulky, and compared to the people are saying about the Xbox Series X controller, it's not quite as easy to manage. It's a bit heavy, a bit dense. I happen to think it's all right. I feel it's the same kind of shape more or less. It doesn't feel that different really. I can see people how do have gripes with it. It's a little bit complicated at first because it's just a different feel to the other PS4 controller. But already, I love the fact as well that they've got like a little mute button here as well that you can press, and you can mute your speaker on and off really simply. Before it's a case of going into the menus and flipping around. Now it's just really simple, and the PlayStation button is actually the PlayStation insignia there as well, which is pretty cool too. But it's fun, it's good, I like it. And taking screenshots, doing that kind of stuff, it's really easy. That's the most I feel it's very fluid as a system. So that's my vibe, at least anyway. This has been a very honest, open review. Obviously. It's me. I wouldn't dare dream of doing anything else. But it's been something that I've wanted to do, and I'm glad I can do it. And I hope you enjoyed this. And I'll do plenty more videos like this. Let me know in the comments below if you like this style of video, which is way more chill than most of the videos that I do or have done on the channel before. My channel's full of stuff from gaming vids to show reels and podcasts and all kinds of different stuff. I'm just chucking tons of stuff up there.
But these bits of the camera are kind of easy for me to do. So this is kind of way simpler. If you like this kind of style of content, let me know. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel for more, and let me know what you want to see next. I'll be back very soon. This should take seconds to edit, which is pretty sweet, really. But peace out. I'll see you next time. I'm Sav, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel, and look forward to seeing you soon again on the channel. PS5 is banging. All right, peace.